Okay, we're continuing with the quotes of Tom Wolfe, the great American writer. He said, put your good where it'll do the most. And that's basically, a little bit sounds like Jordan Peterson. You ask yourself, what are my abilities? What are my interests? What can I do that'll make money? How much free time do I have? How much resources do I have in terms of money and time and opportunities and teachers and whatnot? And what's the best I could do? And I'll do that. The thing that'll make me the most happy, that'll help the most people, that'll give my life the most meaning, that I'll be proud that I did, that I'll look back and be happy about what I did. Okay, Tom Wolfe. At the bottom, idealism rests upon a religious assumption taken for granted in the Renaissance, namely that human beings are created in the image of God. That's the foundation of everything. Anybody who's smart knows that. Paul Johnson, the historian, knows that. Basically, Gottfried Leibniz has said there is either God or there is nothingness. If you get rid of God, then man is nothing but a talking monkey because atheistic Darwinism takes over. And if man's just a talking monkey, then he's just a farm animal who belongs to the ruler and who must do as he's told and really is not entitled to anything. So I'm always amazed that people can't understand that. I got people, with college education, graduate degrees, and they think that doesn't matter. And I'm like, you're a freaking moron. It's obvious. If your moral foundation says that you are created in the image of God, then you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness. You deserve privacy. You deserve free speech. You deserve the right to own property. If, on the other hand, you accept atheistic Darwinism, which is the standard in modern society, through the grade school, high school, college, and grad school system, and the public system now, that's not done by accident. That's done on purpose by the billionaire perverts to take away all the rights of the citizenry. And the citizenry, the most of them are such morons, they don't even understand that. If you give up being created in the image of God, you've got nothing. Nothing. Okay? You need to know that. Okay, Tom Wolfe's next quote. The notion that the public accepts or rejects anything in modern art is merely romantic fiction. The game is completed and the trophies distributed long before the public knows what has happened. The public is not invited, never has been. A big part of modern art movement was to subvert the middle class. These phony modern art critics would say things like, without a theory, I can't even see a painting. And it's all nonsense. Modern art is all entirely fake. It's the emperor's new clothes. It's just a way to degrade the public, make them, think their society's not worth preserving. It's an embarrassment. It's a humiliation of mankind to walk into a museum and see urinals and paint splashed on a thing. And the fact that people put up with it is just so sad. That's one of the things that's made me sad as I'm an adult, is that I see most people, like I've dated some women, a long time ago when I was younger, and they thought it was nice to go to Modern Art Museum. And I'm just like, are you just a total stupid airhead? You think it's okay to put that on a wall? Because they just go along with whatever's conformity. They have no brains, no minds, no ability to judge. They're really like intellectual children. Anybody with a brain in their head can look at paint splashed on a canvas and realize a child could have done that. That's crap. That's not real art. And that does not belong in a museum. They use it to launder money as well, but it's also for the degradation of society, and it's a humiliation and an embarrassment, and people should complain about it. And people should never put that in their houses or any place they are. It's a total insult. Okay, Tom Wolfe, I'm a great believer in outline. He's written a lot of very good novels. He's the best American writer, I think, of the last 50 years amongst the men. Okay. A semicolon is used to connect two short sentences that are related, and it can work well with when you got a whole bunch of independent clauses that are connected. And he did a real good job. I liked reading him also for his skill with punctuation. In his book called The Man in Full, there's a scene where a guy's desperate to make a phone call. And so he goes to a payphone. He says, over there, a telephone. He deposited a quarter, period, nothing, semicolon, dead, semicolon. It was out of order, semicolon. He couldn't get the quarter back. He jiggled the lever. He pounded the machine with the heel of his hand. A panic rose up in him. So that's really good writing, because the semicolons make you stop less than you stop with a period, and it keeps you flowing with the anticipation of the sentence. It's great. Tom Wolfe himself rejected neo-Darwinism. Neo-Darwinism just sort of means Darwinism plus, modern genetics. It's still the same thing. I think of evolution as, this is what he says, I think of evolution as a myth, like the Norse myths, the Greek myths, anybody's myths, but it was created for a rational age. Basically, Darwinism is the myth used to justify atheism. Darwinism, as the way the public thinks about it, is completely untrue and a joke. It is scientifically useful for what is called microevolution, variation within a species, the different types of cats and dogs and cattle and horses and chickens. Okay, fine. But it doesn't really matter for anything that people care about. What people care about is macroevolution. Where does a dolphin come from? A human, a lion, a tiger, a bear? Okay, those are real questions. How did life originate on Earth? Those are real questions. Evolution has nothing to do with that. Okay, here's Tom Wolfe continues from his book, Kingdom of Speech. He said, Darwin's theory is sincere, but it's sheer literature. No one has ever observed it. There's no way to test it. Look at these 5 standard methods to test a scientific hypothesis. Has anyone ever seen evolution? Nobody's ever seen a single case. No one's ever recorded a single case. Could other scientists replicate it? No, they can't. They tried 60,000 generations in a test tube with E. coli. They can't create a new species, okay? Okay, can any of the scientists come up with a set of facts that, if true, would contradict the theory? The falsifiability test of Karl Popper. Could scientists make predictions based on it? Did it illuminate hitherto unknown or baffling areas of science? In the case of evolution, the answers are no, 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 and no. In other words, there's no scientific way to test it. It's a tautology. Evolution says there is survival of the fittest by natural selection, so the fittest survive. Therefore, those that survive are the fittest. That's a tautology. It just answers back on itself. They can't find any transitional forms. They can't explain orphan genes. All right? It's bogus. All that stuff they put in the textbooks is fake. The pepper moths are fake. Haeckel's drawings are fake. These guys like Thomas Huxley, the so-called Darwin's bulldog, and Ernst Haeckel, the phony professor, they're atheists. They want to push atheism, and they're using Darwinism to do it. But once you look close at Darwinism, it's a joke, okay? If you took a paperclip and scratched, an audio CD like Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, Handel, Brahms, okay, Schubert, you don't improve it. Mutation damages things. It's an editor. It's not a creator. You can't create a new beautiful thing with that. Nobody can explain where the information comes from. 3.3 billion base pairs in the human genome of perfect biochemistry. That's more complicated than any computer program ever written. That's more complicated than anything else on this planet. And that spontaneously wrote itself. It's ridiculous.